Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Folks, our channel was the first channel on YouTube to provide an exact framework of the entire Build Back Better agenda. And I want to thank all our viewers and subscribers for all the incredible comments, for all the support that you provide me and my team through this channel. If you're not a member of our community yet, please click the like button. Please click subscribe. Please enable notifications. Thank you so much for being a viewer and a subscriber. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. This right here, real quick, is some information about me. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Also, please subscribe, because I'll teach you how you can overcome the cycle of poverty that you see on your screen right now. I was able to overcome the cycle of poverty, and I'll teach you how to live the American dream. Now, speaking of the American dream, what is the president up to? Well, folks, the president sent out an email talking about the Build Back Better framework. On your screen, you'll see the email that the president has been sending out, and you'll start to see an outline of the entire Build Back Better agenda, where the focus is on families around the country being able to afford childcare for the first time, including universal preschool. Also, an effort to combat climate change, creating hundreds of thousands of good paying union jobs. I get a lot of questions from our viewers and subscribers asking, are stimulus checks included? Are unemployment benefits going to be extended in the Build Back Better plan? And I'll tell you the truth, okay? I'm not going to string you along and give you false hope. The short answer to that question is no. Now, the thesis from the White House is that, hey, if hundreds of thousands of good paying union jobs are created, then that is the best stimulus. The best stimulus is a good job. And that is what the White House is saying. Now, let's move on to this to the next aspect of this email. Healthcare will be more affordable for millions of Americans, and President Biden says we'll bring down costs and rebuild the middle class. In fact, President Biden writes this: the American people sent a clear message at the polls last November that Democrats were up for the job. You kept the faith and the vision day after day, and now we're meeting the moment and delivering. This is an incredible achievement in our fight to build back better, and I want to take a moment to thank you. And he said the Build Back Better framework is going to create jobs, cut taxes, and lower costs for working families, all without raising taxes, even a dime, on anyone making under $400,000 a year. And I know that none of that would be possible without you. And then it ends with a picture of the president in his signature sunglasses. Now, the one thing I will tell you, and this is a headline on your screen from Bloomberg, President Biden has privately warned Democrats that his presidency hinges on the economic plan. In fact, the president pleaded with House Democrats to break the deadlock, and the president said that this was absolutely crucial for him. In fact, the president told lawmakers this in private comments, and by the way, this was reported by Bloomberg. I don't think it's hyperbole to say that the House and Senate majorities and my presidency will be determined by what happens in the next week. So, folks, it's very clear that the president wants to get this done. In fact, here's a comment from Congressman Pramila Jayapal, who's the head of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. This is a significant set of investments that will be transformational for people. We intend to vote for both bills when the text is ready. So, folks, it looks like these progressives are now essentially getting in line, because initially they said, no. We want everything to happen together. We're not going to vote for one if the other's not going to happen. But now they say, okay, we're getting ready. And, it looks like they've struck some sort of a compromise with House Speaker Pelosi. Now, President Biden also said this: any single element of this framework would be viewed as a fundamental change in America. Taken together, they're truly consequential. So you can start to see that this is a very crucial period for the president, and the president is trying to get the Democrats together so that this whole thing can be passed. And looks like there's also going to be an immigration overhaul that would give some undocumented people in the United States greater protection against deportation. So there's a lot going on. And folks, I did do another video on our channel talking about the $1.75 trillion plan. Here's another headline on your screen from the Washington Post. Here's what's in the $1.75 trillion Biden budget plan. Taxes, climate, healthcare, and childcare would all see substantial changes if this package actually becomes law. So what is happening, folks? Here's an image on your screen, and this is from the Washington Post, and the source is the White House. Now, President Biden's blueprint of $1.75 trillion in spending aims to address the country's healthcare, climate, and education, along with $100 billion for immigration reform. So, let's look at the breakdown. Clean energy and climate investments, $555 billion. Childcare and preschool, $400 billion. Childcare and earned income tax credits, $200 billion. Credits for the Affordable Care Act, including in uncovered states, $130 billion. Home care, $150 billion. Housing, $150 billion. Equity and other investments, $90 billion. Higher ed and workforce, $40 billion. Medicare, hearing, $35 billion. This is essentially help for those who are hearing impaired through Medicare, $35 billion. Now, by the way, this is a matter that's close to my heart because my mother is actually hearing impaired. So that was just a side note. Immigration, $100 billion. So you can start to see, folks, there's a lot in this plan. And, this is, again, a very ambitious plan. I did provide a detailed breakdown of the plan. And let's see how President Biden's latest plan actually stacks up with his initial proposals. Here's another image on your screen that shows you how the new plan stacks up with the original proposals from President Biden. Now, in blue, you'll see the president's initial proposals, and in green, you'll see the latest spending plan. So what are the proposals included in this latest plan? The $1.75 trillion plan includes policy priorities from the American Families and American Jobs plans that President Biden announced earlier this year. So, clean energy and climate investments. The original proposal was $678 billion. This proposal, $555 billion. Childcare and preschool. Original proposal, $425 billion. Current proposal, $400 billion. Child tax and earned income tax credits. Original proposal, $454 billion. Current proposal, $200 billion. Home care. Original proposal, $400 billion. Current proposal, $150 billion. Housing. $213 billion proposed versus $150 billion in actual bill. Affordable Care Act credits, including in uncovered states, $200 billion versus $130 billion. Equity and other investments, $151 billion versus $90 billion. And higher education and workforce, big cut here, $193 billion versus $40 billion. Now, new spending that has been proposed that was not in original proposals include $100 billion for immigration enforcement and immigration overhauling, Medicare hearing coverage. I'm assuming that this was a high priority from one of the lawmakers who played a role in essentially putting the text together, $35 billion where originally there was nothing, and priorities that are completely excluded from the deal, and I did cover this on our channel earlier. Major spending initiatives from the American Families Plan were cut. What was cut? Paid family leave, which originally had $225 billion allocated, zero. Free community college, which originally had $109 billion allocated, now zero. So those are the big changes, everyone. And also what has been removed is prescription drug pricing reform. Democrats had hoped to empower Medicare to negotiate lower prices for seniors, and this was a very important campaign promise as far as the Democrats are concerned. But there was resistance from conservatives, the conservative Democrats, if you will, Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, and there was overwhelming lobbying from the drug industry, and this was eliminated. Well, that means these prescription drug companies can continue making money hand over fist. Also, an expansion of Medicare, which Bernie Sanders wanted, is not going to happen. And he wanted expansion of Medicare to include dental, vision, and hearing. In the end, he only achieved hearing because of opposition from Manchin. Paid family leave. Even President Biden had stressed the importance of paid family leave, which leaves millions of Americans without paid family or medical leave, which, by the way, is very ironic because other developed countries, I'm talking about the United Kingdom, Europe, they have paid family leave. Democrats had proposed 12 weeks worth of benefits, but they scaled it down to 4 weeks due to many members who were opposing it, and then they dropped it entirely. Yep, they dropped it entirely because of Joe Manchin. Clean energy was also eliminated because of opposition from Manchin, who represents a coal-heavy state, and a billionaire's tax. And in the late stages of discussions, Senator Kristen Sinema and Elizabeth Warren, the Democrat from Massachusetts, actually emerged with an idea, a plan to tax roughly 700 of the wealthiest Americans, including Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. But they dropped the idea because there was opposition from Democrats, and also a broader effort to raise taxes on wealthy Americans was essentially opposed by the Republicans, because that would mean unwinding the tax cuts under former President Trump. That's where things stand, everybody, how the current Biden plan stacks up with the original Biden proposals, and essentially where we stand right now as President Biden essentially outlines the fact that his entire presidency depends on this economic plan, and as the president makes an effort to promote the Build Back Better plan as best as he can. Thank you so much for watching. Please click like, please click subscribe, please enable notifications. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.